Hi everyone. Thank you for joining today our webinar on transforming manufacturing challenges into opportunities with mass data management, organized by Semarchy and Credencys. Today we have Semarchy and Credencys, a partner based out of India, for our global partners who have implementation centers across US, India, and across the globe. On the call today we have Manish from Credencys, who's currently working as Vice President of Customer Success with Credencys. Manish has more than 20 years of industry experience with around 15 years in the data management space. Manish has worked vastly with clients across manufacturing, retail, CPG industries, to just name a few. Along with Manish, myself, Shivam, I currently work as a pre-sales solution consultant with Semarchy, and I have around 5 years of industry experience in the data management space, where I predominantly worked with clients across manufacturing, energy, retail, banking, to name a few. In today's session, we'll first get started with who Semarchy is or what we provide, and then Manish would deep dive into the various challenges that the manufacturing industry faces in general, based on the experience which Manish has seen over more than 2 decades of his experience. And followed by it, Manish would explain how an MDM solution like Semarchy can help manufacturing industries overcome those challenges and address a few concerns. Followed by it, we look at a quick demonstration of how Semarchy XDM, powerful data management solution, can help customers overcoming those challenges in real. And at the end, we have reserved some time for Q&A and to summarize the recording. But in case if you have any questions during the webinar as well, feel free to post them in the chat. So to get started, here's a quick introduction about Semarchy. Semarchy was founded in 2011 in France, and we moved our headquarters to US in 2016. And we have been there in the Gartner's MDM Magic Quadrant for multiple years in a row as a leader's position. And now we are a leader in Gartner's Peer Insight, a customer-driven platform where 98% of our customers recommend Semarchy. And we are a strong leader out there, and we are the Gartner's customer choice. Semarchy has more than 330 plus customers across the globe, including APAC, US, EMEA, UK region out there. The reason why Semarchy is loved not only by analysts like Gartner, but even by our customers, which we can see on the right on Gartner's customer choice graph, is because Semarchy provides a unified data platform, which is a whole data platform, but it provides three major modules within the platforms. The first one is data management or Semarchy XDM. The second is data intelligence, which is a data catalog and a data governance solution. And third is our data integration module. All these three modules form our Semarchy data platform. But again, these modules can go hand in hand, or they can also help organizations single-handedly. Our data management module helps organization overcome data deduplication, data consolidation, data enrichment, and data quality challenges. It helps organization cleanse their data and leverage it for other use cases within the organization, including consuming it for the AI or ML or any other use cases within the organization. The data intelligence helps organization leverage their data by understanding the various metadata of the different source systems, understanding or building the data lineage, and building some data catalog or glossaries on top of it. So all the users across the department see and leverage the data in a similar manner. And the third module is data integration, which is more like an ELT or an ETL tool, which can transfer data from point A to point B seamlessly. It's used primarily with Semarchy's data management solution. But again, as mentioned earlier, the platform is modularized, so we can use any of these modules separately as well. So this was a quick background about what we offer as Semarchy and from where we are coming. Now I'll pass it over to Manish to deep dive into the various challenges in the manufacturing industries which he has seen over the past decade.
Thanks a lot, Shivam, for the warm introduction. and setting the stage for me. Also, I want to thank again everyone who joined us for this interesting session. Uh, Slide, just a moment. All right, so let's begin with uh, you know uh, the root causes. Right now, in my 15 years of interacting with manufacturing companies, listening to their data challenges and helping them design solutions to overcome these hurdles, I've been able to narrow down two main reasons which stem from the underlying data that companies generally manage. These reasons, I believe, are the core culprits that cause a lot of surface level challenges that companies face when trying to execute their supply chain effectively. So let's go over these reasons. The first reason which I see manufacturing companies come across is data silos. Manufacturing companies have a complex data landscape, right? Now, this complex data landscape becomes more complex when there are multiple systems at play. These systems include ERPs, where you manage, let's say, your vendors that you work with, materials that you procure from your vendors, right? Finished good that you manufacture and the materials that go into it. These systems can also include order management systems, right, where we book sales order, or distribution systems, which through which we ensure that our orders are distributed to the right channels, etc. Right. Now, procuring multiple systems as the company grows, evolves is natural, and that's the right way, right? However, the challenges from data silos start surfacing when you see overlapping data in multiple systems. The question becomes which data to trust. That's the main challenge that data silos cause. Now, for bigger global manufacturers, right, this data complexity becomes multifold, right? Because now you're into geographic and even organizational silos. For companies to ensure that their people are taking data driven decisions, giving them a single source of truth of data and ensuring cross functional integration of data becomes super critical. Example, most of the companies implement ERPs to manage critical master data. While ERPs provide integration across different modules within the ERP system, companies often need to integrate this data across with other systems, departments, business units, or even external partners which are beyond the scope of ERP. Now, companies do this for data intake, data enrichment, ultimately to execute their supply chain workflows. Let's continue to the next root cause. As a When we talk about the next root cause, which is again connected with data silos, right? But it stems mainly from the underlying data reliability issues that exist in the data, right? Now, data reliability issues or data quality issues, as they're often commonly called, right? Now, these data reliability issues, involve concerns about accuracy and trustworthiness of data, right? Which is again very crucial for effective decision making, operational efficiency, right? In our business, right? Now, these data quality problems could be, for example, missing data, right? Or inconsistent data between the systems, duplicate data, right? Or even outdated data or wrong data, right? Which can hinder the effectiveness that companies need for critical use cases. Example, demand forecasting. Now, not addressing data reliability issues can lead to lot of errors in decision making, right? Customer dissatisfaction, right? Compliance risks, etc. Ultimately causing a lot of burn in your supply chain management, right? Now, with these two root causes, right, companies who are able to essentially uh, understand and work around these two causes, right? They are able to leverage data as a strategic asset, right? By breaking down, the silos, improving data reliability, right? And thus able to unlock new opportunities, right? I'm sure you can resonate with the use cases that you see here on the slide, right? These questions or asks and answers to these are what every manufacturing company is trying to get, right? Consider scenarios, right, where sales orders are disconnected from inventory, right, leading to inaccurate demand forecasting, ultimately missed sales opportunities, right? Or the frustration, right, of dealing with overstocking, understocking due to unreliable data, right, resulting in either carrying excess carrying cost or even lost revenue. Right. Furthermore, you can also imagine the complexities caused by, for example, supplier information, which is scattered across various databases and spreadsheets. Right. This leads to inconsistencies in the details of your vendor that you're working with, the payment terms that you are aligned, that you've aligned with them, inaccurate lead times, right? Ultimately affecting your production schedules and customer satisfaction, right? Additionally, if you think about inaccurate product data, right, it adds another layer of difficulty, right? With examples like inconsistent descriptions, attributes, incorrect classifications, causing confusion among customers, right? And causing inefficiencies in your marketing effort. As you delve deeper into these challenges and more, right, it becomes evident that data management and the core reasons, right, about data in silos and data reliabilities become the heart of, all the obstacles that you see on your screen and similar, right? But here's the key insight, right? By if we address data silos and we ensure data reliability, right, we can overcome these challenges, right? And we can achieve the business objectives more effectively, right? By streamlining data flow and breaking down silos, we can optimize our inventory, strengthen supplier relationships, right? And provide consistent product information across all channels. Now, how do we do this? How do we flip the switch, right? Now, that's where MDM comes into play, right? Now, let's see at a very high level what is an MDM and how it can help overcome data silos and data reliability. Now, an MDM solution provides a centralized hub for all the master data, which can include your product information, customer data, supplier details, etc. MDM has the capability to provide you with the single source of truth to all the stakeholders for reliable data analysis and strategic planning. Right? In here, Semarchy MDM, which is one of the leading MDM in the market, right? It provides you with clear methods of managing and organizing this critical data, right? Assets across your organization to help you ensure consistency, accuracy, and reliability. Using Semarchy MDM, we've seen enterprises and organization ultimately be able to eliminate data silos, improve data quality for enhanced decision making and for the operational excellence that they are demanding. Right. As a next step, what we will do is we'll explore the Semarchy platform, right? So we want to show you how Semarchy MDM resolves the data related challenges, right, which we just saw earlier, and help unlock new opportunities for growth, efficiency, and success for a manufacturing company. Over to you, Shivam.
Thank you very much, Manish, for sharing the insights based on your experience and uh, helping with helping share with the audience that how an MDM solution like Semarchy can help addressing those challenges. So now to get started, let's deep dive into it. And here's a quick overview about Semarchy. So on the screen, we see a Semarchy-based UI. Semarchy again is a domain-agnostic MDM solution. So within manufacturing industry, if we see, depending on the manufacturer's industry, there's a lot of different kind of data sets. It could be my supplier data, it could be my items or raw material data, it could be some manufacturing plants, it could be about the end products which you make. So there's a lot of different data domains or data which a manufacturer collects. Semarchy can help in consolidating all those data and ensuring that the challenges which Manish spoke about, the data silos and data reliability issues, we can help address those challenges across different data domains within the manufacturing organization. It could be my manufacturers, products, manufacturing plants, items, customers, or any other data out there. So in here today, we'll be looking at uh, and manufacturer who's manufacturing automobile uh, data out there. So the data which we'll see is more related with the automobiles, but in general, it provides you just of how Semarchy can help manufacturing organizations help with their data issues. So in here, this is consolidated data of suppliers, wherein we are seeing the end result of how Semarchy has helped consolidate or remove the data silos of the various suppliers. So in here, if I open one of my suppliers, let's say Bosch, I can see the complete detail of Bosch, that brief description about Bosch, the website, the payment terms, and some additional details about Bosch. So in here, we see the consolidated data of Bosch. But if I click on any of the attributes, let's say description out there, and if I click on values field, I can see the various data coming from different siloed system. For instance, here, ERP had a very crisp description about what Bosch is. It provides a wide range of automobile components and fuel systems and so on. Whereas the marketing had no description, whereas the PLM had a shorter description of it. So this speaks about the various data which the different teams were seeing. For instance, the person or the operations team using the ERP system, they knew exactly in and out about the supplier. But marketing, they just had the name of the supplier. They were kind of not sure. So this kind of helps different teams to see the same data. With Semarchy, we help consolidate those information, and additionally, we keep a track that which system had what kind of data, and really the data which Semarchy is holding, from where did that data come in. So it also ensures the organizations in their data compliance or the data lineage aspect as well. With Semarchy, we can look at the supplier details. We can look at the subsidiaries with the supplier is owning. It could be based on the data which we have in the ERP, or it could again come from external sources as well. Semarchy can enrich the data on the fly by connecting with Dun& Bradstreet, Melissa, or any other content providers to address the data reliability issue as well. With Semarchy, we can also organize and look at the supplier address in a single screen. We can store various addresses because currently most of the suppliers are global. They don't have one shipping address, they kind of operate across countries. So with Semarchy, we can help consolidate all those information. For instance, with Bosch, they have three different shipping addresses. They ship few items from China, few from US, and few from a different location. So we can also track which of the items are coming from which of these geographies. So down the line, we'll also see that how it can help the supply chain team to streamline and understand that which items are coming from which geographies out there. We can also look at the items which a supplier is supplying to me. For instance, Bosch is providing me as a manufacturer with these five items: fuel injector, coolant, wiper arm, so on and so forth. With Semarchy, we can not only see the supplier and the items that they're supplying, but Semarchy can help organizations build a complete 360-degree view of the data. For instance, here, really the current ERP system in the organization, even they'll be having the items which a supplier is supplying. But Semarchy can help in the 360 view. For instance, if I open my Viper arm, I can see the details about the Viper arm or the items which typically is stored in a different data silos within the organization. So Semarchy can help in bringing or linking all the various informations together. And additionally, right now we started from the supplier Bosch and we saw the item which Bosch is supplying. And with Semarchy, we can also see that really the item which Bosch is supplying, the Viper arm, where it's being used. So I can see that it's being used in a Viper component assembly, which is an assembly item which, as a manufacturer, we are building to build a final product of a vehicle, for instance, a A220 model or S650 model. So we can track the complete end-to-end lineage that the Viper arm coming from Bosch is being used in a specific Viper assembly, and that assembly is being used in these four trims as the end product which I, as a manufacturer, is manufacturing. This helps me in building the complete end-to-end lineage of where the data came, where it's being used, and in case we have the customer data as well, we can then deep dive and look at the customers as well. That which of my customers are using these specific trims or the end items which are manufacturing. If I just go back to Bosch, so we're at the item supplied, where we saw that how Semarchy can help build the complete view of the supplier items and whether it's being used. In the master records, we can kind of see the various source records coming in. For instance, the record of Bosch was stored in four different siloed systems, ERP, two in marketing, and one in PLM. So even within marketing, if there are some duplicate records or similar records, Semarchy can help identify the duplicate records and make sure that we only have single record for the supplier across the organization. So this is how Semarchy can help getting rid of data silos and help building a complete view of the supplier or any other domain for that instance. You could see a similar view for items, manufacturing plants, or any other data domain, whatever you would like to master with Semarchy. Semarchy can also help organizations in the data reliability or data compliance, to put it that way. For instance, here, like let's say I have the supplier Bosch, but as while onboarding a new supplier, different teams like legal team or the supply chain team, they kind of try to vet the supplier to see how is their industry reputation, how are they financially stable or not. So Semarchy can also help in tracking those information. It could again be from external sources like Dun& Bradstreet or Melissa, or if as manufacturers we have internal teams who are manually reviewing the supplier information, Semarchy can again help in consolidating and storing those informations. For instance, here, if I just go back to my supplier check tab, I can see that probably my internal team has checked the financial stability of the supplier and they marked it was stable and they checked it in February 2023. And since the data is kind of outdated or it was kind of checked more than a year back, Semarchy can automatically provide some warnings, or it can also send emails to the supplier team or any specific team to kind of say that the data which we have is not that reliable because it's way too old or more than a year old. So we can also define these kind of checks or define these kind of data reliability standards as well, that really my data should always be checked in every 6 months or a year or so. You can not only help uh, check the supplier information or so on, but with Semarchy, we can also perform additional compliances with supplier or any other data domain out there. For instance, if I just quickly jump onto my dashboards, I have a compliance dashboard wherein we have divided the compliance, or I would say data reliability, in three major domains. Number one, data compliance or data reliability, that how reliable is my data. So in here, we can kind of see that if I just open the first chart, you can see that around 71% of my end product or product trim which is the end vehicles which I'm manufacturing, is complete, and probably the remaining 28% is incomplete. So if I just open my second chart, I can kind of do a more detailed analysis that in the 28%, really the Sprinter or S-Class or which specific predict trim has the most incomplete data and which model year. So in here, if needed, we can also deep dive into the specifics that really there are 539 which are missing invoice price, 2 which are missing cylinders, or so on. And if needed, the data stewards can just look at the records, like they can find the exact trim which is missing. And in case if they want to update, they can directly browse it from here and update those specific records which have uh, which have data which is not reliable or which are not compliant with the internal data policies of the organization. So Semarchy can help organizations kind of visualize these kind of compliance or irregularities in multiple formats. Like we could have some pie charts, some donut charts, or some violation heat maps. And from every way, the users or the data stewards can look which records are not compliant. The second, like typically within organizations, it could be data irregularities or it could be internal irregularities or compliance as well. For instance, let's say that as an automobile company, we have an environmental policy that any automobile which we market out there in the industry should always have an average mileage of more than 6 kilometers per liter. So it's more the marketing thing which uh, the organization has a brand image to maintain. So if we have those kind of things wherein in internal testings we want the mileage to be above 6, the organization could track those kind of informations within Semarchy. So in here, we can kind of see that most of my vehicles are really above the 6.38 or the borderline of 6. So they are compliant. But there are around 29 models which are not complying, which have a mileage less than 6 kmph. So in here, we can kind of look at the exact models. And really, I can send a notification either to the predict team or to the R&D team, ask them to kind of find out ways to improve the mileage of these predicts, or we take a calculated decision or whether should be marketed or not. So these are more like internal compliances, which could be any policies within the organization, and we can visualize or leverage data to ensure that the data is compliant with it. And similarly, there could be additional regulatory compliances as well within the organization or within the industry, which as a manufacturer we'll need to follow. For instance, in manufacturing, there's a very common scenario that in case as a manufacturer or as a company, if you're aware of any malfunctioning predicts or predicts which are not meeting quality standards down the line, they'll need to notify the end customers for the customer safety and ensure that the part is replaced with a reliable part. It's a very common use case in the automobile industry, but similarly, even across the other manufacturing verticals, it's a common use case where we see part recall or similar use cases down the line. For instance, here, it's the same thing which is illustrated, but additionally with Semarchy, we can leverage data to ensure that all the predicts which we have are compliant with that. For instance, here, this one item door lock, which is marked as non-compliant or which was recently kind of marked as we'll be replacing it. So in here, we can see that the door lock is being used in one of my 2018 models, one in my 2019 and 2020 models. And on the right side, we can then deep dive into those specific that this is the item SKU or the door lock motor, which is kind of being recalled or which we feel is not safe. So we kind of marked it to be replaced on 1st of April. And since it should be replaced in less than a year, at the max, we should comply with this regulation by April 1st, 2025. And we have around 343 days to comply with it. So Semarchy can help organizations to build these kind of dashboards, to track them, and to visually ensure that we are still within the time frame. In case we have elapsed, really we could have some dynamic colors changing it to red to make sure that any user seeing at it on the first go is able to feel the importance of it. And to deep dive, we can also see the relevant information. For instance, these are the end customers who are using those three models, which is using the door lock motor. Because with Semarchy, all the data is linked across domains, be it the supplier, be it the items, be it the predict trims or the end predicts, and the customers who are using my end predicts. Because all the data is linked, Semarchy can provide a central place within the organization to track all these compliance things, be it data compliance, internal compliances, or regulatory compliances. This not only provides a single place, but it also helps organization become compliant ready and reduces a lot of time down the line in case there are some questions or some questions around the policies within the organization. And the third thing, which we'll focus on today, within manufacturing industry, we've seen that typically the supply chain is the most crucial part within the manufacturing industry. And if we can automate the supply chain part with making it data driven, nothing better than that. Because with that, we'll have automated insights on our supply chain and we can track them end to end. So I'll just quickly jump back to the suppliers, which we saw initially. So we saw how Semarchy can help link the suppliers, the end predict trim from the UI part. But additionally, Semarchy also helps in visualizing the same information in a tree-like or a hierarchical structure. For instance, I can see the subsidiaries or the items supplied by Bosch. I can then track back that the wiper arm which Bosch is supplying is being used in the specific assembly, and this assembly again is being used in the specific end models. So we can kind of completely track end to end that where the data is coming from and at which end predict it's being used. This helps in providing the complete end-to-end visibility in the supply chain to see how an impact on a single supplier, let's say Bosch, would impact my end predict or end trim. So if something happens to Bosch or if they're not supplying me materials on time, really these four would be the end models as a manufacturer which would be impacted on my side. So supply chain team can look at it either from the data side or Semarchy provides flexible dashboarding capabilities to build some dashboards or reports on top of it. For instance, here with supply chain, it's again crucial to understand how many suppliers I have by region, because with COVID and uh, other kind of geopolitical movements which happened in the past, it's crucial to understand the distribution per geography as well. So we can build some dashboards to understand the suppliers which I have by per country, and really I can see that as a supplier, I'm heavily dependent on US and Germany. So this could again provide some insights to the supply chain team in case we want to diversify it down the line. And additionally, we can build some dashboards on top of it to see how many items I'm getting from every suppliers, how many inventories left, and so on. So in here, if I again just filter on Bosch, because we have seen this supplier uh, record in the past, you can kind of see that Bosch is currently supplying me 5 items. And if I want, I can deep dive into it. And with the items being supplied by Bosch, I currently have, I would say, like looking at it, we have around sufficient inventory. Really, the least is the wiper blade, which Bosch is supplying me. We just have inventory left for 3.5 days. So with Semarchy, we can not only leverage master data, but we can also bring in transactional or aggregator transactional data to build a complete picture of the data. For instance, it could be my inventory levels, it could be my order book, or it could be the orders delivered to make sure that we get the complete 360-degree picture out of the platform. So in here, we are leveraging some inventory data from different systems to uh, build or help the supply chain team analyze the current level of inventory within the organization. So in here, we can see that the Viper blade has the least amount of inventory for Bosch. It's around 3.7 days. And on the right side, I can see the lead time by the supplier. And for Viper blade, they have a lead time of 2 days. Really, if I need to take an action, I still have 1.5 days to take an action in case we want to kind of reorder something from Bosch. And with Semarchy, we provide the flexibility to bring in the order information as well here to kind of make sure that we can look at the current order book and look at the current inventory levels and then make an informed decision. Because as Manish highlighted initially, one of the key challenges in manufacturing is whether we are overstocking inventory or understocking inventory. Both would lead to a loss of revenue. So it becomes crucial to understand the inventory with respect to the order book. And Samaki provides that flexibility to bring in those inventory, order book, and the supplier related information like supplier name, supplier lead time, and additional information together in a single platform out there. In here, we can kind of look at the inventories, like the inventory level left, the lead time, and additionally, we can also kind of track the supplier order fulfillment in case we bring in those kind of informations as well. For instance, here we can see that Bosch has delivered with delays around, if I just reduce it, they've kind of delivered with a delayed around 366 times, and they've delivered within the lead time around 257 times. And we can track it down to the specific items. And if we have further details like the order ID, Samaki can again track it down to the specific order ID as well. So this is the flexibility which Samaki provides to the supply chain and the other team in the organization to make sure we take a data-driven decision in terms of uh, from where the data is coming, from where the items is coming, where it's being used down the line, and track it end to end. So now I'll kind of pass it back to Manish for him to take over.
Thank you, Shivam. What an amazing demo, right? So I think let's sum it up, right? So in the demo, you could see two of the most powerful features of Semarchy. How Semarchy provides you with the 360-degree view of your data that helps you take rapid decisions and also help you get over with the reliability issues in your data, right? And this is something that both Semarchy and Credencys have been doing it for years. Now, the cool thing about Semarchy and the Semarchy MDM platform is that it makes MDM easy and uncomplicated, right? Now, what we have seen with our customers who we have implemented solutions are that 80% of our consumers are able to have a fully functioning MDM solution in under 12 weeks, right? So the platform and the methods and the mechanisms that the platform is able to provide, we are basically able to, get a rapid time to value, right? We've also worked with customers who started with a domain, say product or supplier, and they were able to scale at a rapid speed to other domains and use cases, right? Ultimately helping a business with a better ROI and with the reduced total cost of ownership, right? Which generally are involved in, solving these challenges of silos and data unreliability. Now, together with Semarchy and Credencies, we also make it very easy for everyone to start, right? So people who are interested and want to see, let's say, the platform in action with their own data, more than happy to collaborate on that, right? So we work with business into helping them with things like, ROI assessment, providing them with demo with their own data, helping them actually get into a rapid, delivery blueprint, right? Which basically gives you that quick go to market with your first use case, first domain, is something that we as a group specialize in, right? So you can definitely get in touch with us through our websites or through our social channels, and we'll be more than happy to help you navigate through your journey with data, right? With that, I'll open the floor for questions, and I'll just check if we have some questions from the audience. All right, so I see few comments. Mark says, very good demo, really cool platform. Thank you, Mark. I also have a couple of questions. All right, so we have one question, and this is probably what Shivam can answer. So, Shivam, the audience has a question, and the question that they have is how easy it is to get data into Samarkey, right? Because they are invested in several systems. So, how Samarkey makes it easy to get the data? That's the first question that they have.
So Semarchy has connectors to more than 70 plus applications that are being used within organizations. So we help or we bring those connectors along with Semarchy to make sure that we are able to pull those data out of those legacy or the data siloed systems and bring it to a central place within Semarchy. And the connectors which we bring in can not only be used to speak with Semarchy products, but it can be used in general across the organizations to speak across other systems as well if needed.
So, all right, awesome. We also have another question from the audience, which is around data governance. The question is, does Semarchy platform provide a way for teams and different users in the team to collaborate when they are working in enriching a master record?
That's a really good question, I would say. So Semarchy comes with a robust workflow engine where we can model or build any business process within the organization, where which is more like a business process where multiple team members or multiple departments can collaborate within the platform and onboarding a supplier or enriching the supplier information. So we can build some business process which is more like a step by step process that really first, if a vendor is being onboarded, the supply chain team onboards. Then it goes to the legal or the compliance check. Then really at the end we'll have some data stewards or data owner setting. Again, it's just an illustration of the process, but we can have any kind of business process built within Semarchy which could allow collaboration within teams or across teams within the organization.
Well, thank you, Shivam. I think those were the questions we got, but as I said, right, we'll be more than happy to attend to any questions if you were to reach out to us offline, and more than happy to have we show you the power of Samarkey and how you can leverage Samarkey, for your business. With that, I think we want to again thank everyone for joining the webinar today and wish you a great day ahead. Thank you.